So yeah, just chilling in New York, but here is the thing that I wanted to teach today, and it is about consistency. You know, for example, this week I could have easily said, oh hey, I'm hanging out in New York, I'm just gonna go a week off of my live show, I'll be back next week. But in my mind, I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I need to show up for you guys, because I know you guys are the ones that are looking for more in your life, and this is one of the resources where you find more. So like, I'm here, I'm going to share a topic on consistency, literally in New York City. Like, check out this background, like, oh my gosh, there's Jersey, like right there. But like, what better place to have this live show than New York? Like, I literally am like so excited that you guys are here, and hopefully you guys can hear me too. But you guys are liking it, so I'm assuming, like, literally I'm seeing the likes float up, so I guess you guys can hear me. But this is so much fun. Okay, so let's go to the topic. So at the top of this page, I think I wrote just do it. And like, literally the reason why Nike is so successful is because they have like this empowering movement behind their actual slogan. So like, the just do it slogan is not just a slogan, it's literally a way of life. And I've realized that, like, from a young age, consistency is one of those things that, you know, I didn't realize that I had when I was little, until like, there was, you know, days after dinner where I would, if it was nice outside after dinner in the middle of summer, Dad and I were going out to practice. Like, there was no choice. Like, we were always doing it. And I remember there would be times at dinner where it'd be like, Dad, like, I just don't want to hit today. Like, I don't want to hit. It's so nice out, but like, I'm just not feeling it. And my dad would literally be like, you don't have a choice. We're going to hit. And, you know, at the time I'm like, Dad, like, that sucks. Like, you suck. Like, you can't tell me when I can and cannot hit. But we went out there and hit anyway. And, you know, in that moment, I was just like, I'm glad I came out here. Like, even though, you know, it was the last thing I wanted to do, like, maybe I was exhausted from like spending the whole day with friends, or like by the pool, or doing just everyday things, and I was tired. And my dad was always like, no, like, you're gonna go hit. And at the time, like, I didn't understand why he was like always pressuring me to go and hit. And now, like, as I'm 26 years old, you know, played 20 years of softball basically, I am so grateful that he instilled that consistency mindset into me at such a young age. So that consistency of just, you know, whether I wanted to do it or not, going out there and getting the job done was getting me closer to those goals that I had. And, you know, I always talk about the role model mindset. And, you know, when I was 12 years old and I saw Caitlin Lowe, like, slapping on the left side for Arizona, I knew those were the shoes that I wanted to be in. And so at that young age, like, yeah, I was playing other sports, but, you know, I wanted to be just like Caitlin Lowe. So I kind of instilled this mindset of, you know, like, on days where I didn't want to go work, or I didn't want to, you know, go get ground balls off of Dad, even though he was mad and he was going to probably hit him as hard as he could at me. I didn't want to go pitch. I didn't want to do all these things. That is so normal to not want to do things. But I realized that the things that, like, that the reason why I went out there at first was like, Dad was telling me what to do. But I came to this mindset of, you know, I want to be like Caitlin Lowe, and Caitlin Lowe's at the level I want to be at. So literally in my mind, I was like, what would Caitlin do? You know how, like, people wear like the what would Jesus do bracelets, because, you know, you want to live like a life of Christ, like a life where, you know, Jesus is your guide, and like living that type of mentality of what would Jesus do in this situation. I literally would just say, yeah, what would Caitlin do? Like, when I doubted myself, when I, you know, didn't think that I was going to be able to succeed, when I didn't want to go work out, I literally had to put in my mind, what would Caitlin do? What would Caitlin Lowe do? My idol, what would she do right now? She'd probably go and practice. And like, in my mind, I'm like figuratively saying, okay, well, Caitlin's the girl I want to be. This is probably how she did it. And like, no, did I know exactly that she was practicing every day with her dad? No, I didn't. But I literally, I don't know if you guys can hear me anymore. Let me know if you can't hear me. But I literally had to have that mindset of what would Caitlin do? And if Caitlin would probably be out there with her dad, even though she didn't want to practice, she probably would. She'd probably be out there. So that's where, like, I kind of got myself out of the, you know, I don't want to do it today, to, you know, I need to do it. I need to do it because that's what Caitlin would do, and those are the shoes that I want to be in. Let me know if you guys can hear me. But because my headphones just turned off. But I literally love that idea, that mindset of like, even though I didn't want to go and do it, there is someone out there that is probably doing that thing. You know, like, it doesn't matter if you play sports, doesn't matter if you play softball, like, there is probably someone that's outworking you somewhere. And on those days, that was also a motivator for me. It was just like, you know what, that girl in California, the one who can be outside all year long, probably is. And she's gonna play at the level she wants to play at. And I told you, it was a young age, like, when I decided that I wanted to go play, you know, college softball at some level. But, like, 12 years old was about the time, because that was when I was watching Caitlin Lowe on TV. But yeah, like at that age, I was just like, you know what, I need to be able to motivate myself, and knowing that there were girls across the country who had the same goals as me, I had to then be and try to do things differently than how they would do it. And so, like, figuratively in my mind, I'm like, oh no, there's probably a girl in California that's out there today. That's why I need to go be out there too. And like, you could take this into the work setting. Like, and I know a lot of parents listen on Facebook. So like, if you're at work and you're like not motivated to do anything, think about someone in your field doing the thing. Like, for example, like, I'm thinking of myself as like a coach and a motivator. It's like, that's why I had to get on this live show, was because I am being consistent with the goals that I said that I had. And if I can impact you guys today at all, like, that is the goal. And even if just one person leaves here impacted, there's a reason why I'm getting on this live today in New York City, where the World Trade Center is literally right there, and Lady Liberty is right there. She's kind of far, but I get to see her tomorrow. But literally, there is a reason why I need to be on this live, and who knows, like, who is gonna be listening, who is going to be inspired. But like, I know that my mission is to be able to inspire people to do more, be more, and just live a life, you know, in search for more, in search for growth every single day. So like, I have to be here because that's the mission that I've given myself. And so I keep like going off onto different tangents, but I just get so excited about it because, you know, I don't have to be doing this live. I could just be exploring, walking around New York City. But I know, like, this is something that I want to be consistent doing. So like, because I have taken the oath of being consistent with these lives, we're here today in New York. So just be consistent. And that's the thing. Like, it's hard. Like, there are days literally where I have hopped on these live shows and it's like the last thing that I want to do. Like, and I know that sounds terrible because this is something that I've chosen to do every single week. But like, there are days where like I have been sick. And hopefully you guys don't know that I was sick, but there are days where I was sick and I was just like, all right, Ash, you just got to figure out how to do it. And I come out here and I have a topic and I try to be as motivating as possible, even though like sometimes I'm, you know, exhausted. But like, that's the thing. It's like, I made a promise with myself that every Monday I'd be here at 3 p.m. And I know it's 2 p.m. Eastern at this time, but I had to double up times. Fun fact, I had to double up times because I normally have an iPhone and I need Wi-Fi to be on that, and I know that if I'm going to be hanging out here, which was my goal, I can't do a phone on Wi-Fi because there's no Wi-Fi like literally where I'm at. So I'm on here at 2 p.m. I'll be live on Instagram at 3 p.m. So if you want to hop on there later, you can. But yeah, it's just about consistency. And the thing is, when I look, you know, from like, I don't know, I might be doing these for 5 years. I don't know. But like, when I look at my 5-year plan or even my 1-year plan, like, I don't want to look back and say, oh yeah, I skipped that 1 week, or, you know, I took a couple weeks off, which, you know what, there might be a couple weeks where I take it off. But this is where I know that every Monday at 3 p.m. there's a purpose for me to talk about a certain topic, because there might be something that you or your daughters or anybody is going through right now that needs it, that needs like this little motivation to be more consistent, to have the just do it mentality. And so that's where it's almost like a must for me to have to be here. And so, like, I don't want to look a year from now and say, oh yeah, when I was in New York, I decided to take a week off. So because, you know, the setting wasn't what my normal setting is. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to be here every single Monday giving you topics that hopefully you can relate to, or you can, you know, share with other people. So that's like another thing. So just keep showing up. Like, there are days where, like I said, I was sick and I don't want to do a live show, but I know that I have to do a live show because that's what I've made a promise with myself. And one of like the coolest quotes I ever heard was, like, you would not want to be friends with that person that, you know, is always late, or you can't trust because they're always lying, you know, to you. And like, it made me, and the quote is, you never want to be friends with that person, so why would you let yourself be that person? Why would you break promises with yourself if you wouldn't even hang out with somebody that always breaks promises, right? So like, I made a promise I was gonna be here sometime, like every Monday, 3 p.m. It's 2 right now, but I made a promise to myself that I was gonna be here. And so that's where you can't break promises with yourself, because you're stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. You break promises now with yourself, and you're gonna just live a massive life of disappointment. Like, quit breaking promises with yourself. Like, maybe it was, you know, at the beginning of the year you said you were gonna work out more at the gym. Maybe it was, you know, doing, I don't know, like doing yoga like 5 times a week and you're only doing it once a week. Like, be consistent with that thing that you've chosen to do, because there's a reason why you chose to do it, but it got hard and then you stopped doing it. I know you guys can relate this, because when things get tough, that's where, when you show up, you're gonna be so grateful a year from now, 5 years from now, that you showed up on that day that was really hard and that you didn't want to be there. Like, that's where, like, I can take this into the softball realm. It's like, yeah, I got to where I did as a softball player because my dad made me show up as a kid. He made me show up when I did not want to show up, and I didn't understand what that meant, you know, as an athlete back then, but it was the reason why I am the way I am today. It's like, I have to show up. I have to show up because my future self needs me to show up today when I don't want to be here, right? So, by the way, I want to be here. I want to be here showing you like all of this like amazing New York City that's like just chilling behind me. I was like, what better way to do a live show than where like all these shows on TV are filmed, right? But like, on those days where you don't want to show up, remember, there's somebody probably out there outworking you if you don't. So like, keep going through the thing, keep pushing, keep grinding through the tough, because right now, like, you might be going through something that's like, oh, it's the last thing you want to do, but you know you have to do it in order to succeed. I knew that I had to show up every single day in practice because I wanted to play at the college level when I was 12 years old, and my girl Caitlin Lowe was in the shoes that I wanted to be at. So if you have to motivate yourself by saying, hey, what would Caitlin Lowe do? What would, you know, who's your role model? What would they be doing right now? You know, if you want to be like a talk show host on the news and you have like your favorite news anchor, like that's on there, like, make them be your role model and say, you know what would they be doing today? They'd probably be putting in the work. All of the best are putting in the work every single day. They're taking baby steps. Sometimes they have to take tiny baby steps every day to get to where they want to be, but like, you're moving forward. So what can you do today that's going to move you forward, move the needle for yourself to be in a place later that you aren't now? Like, I know you guys don't listen to this unless you actually like have the vision, have, you know, some sort of a dream in front of you to like be somewhere, be someone. And you have to know that like, when things get tough, that's when you need to show up for yourself the most. So don't ever forget that. Ryan Lundy, thanks for checking in. Be safe and enjoy your time in New York City. Great message. Just have to stay motivated year round. Absolutely. And keep from getting burnt out. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, burnt out is totally a thing. Like, I think I was blessed with parents who had me playing multiple sports until I was in high school. Actually, even in high school, I was playing basketball and softball. But like, my parents always encouraged me to play multiple sports, and that's why I think in softball I didn't get burnt out. Because, you know, when I was in the middle of basketball season, like, I may have picked up a bat like twice during basketball because my main focus was on my team for basketball. Like, I needed to show up for my basketball team, so that, and no matter what, like, I was putting in the work for them. It wasn't until I was in high school at about my sophomore year when after my sophomore year, I stopped playing basketball, and it was all solely softball at that point. But I didn't get burnt out because I was playing multiple sports. I had different roles on different teams, and it just worked out to where, like, my parents instilled in me, no, you're going to keep showing up no matter what team you're playing for. If you're playing for, you know, your basketball team, if you're playing for your soccer team, you show up for that team. throughout that season no matter what, and then we'll hop on to the next sport later. A lot of parents I know right now are like, they're like, oh no, you need to keep practicing softball like every single week, every single day, and I'm just like, that's actually not what your kid needs. Your kid needs a break from the sport. Like, a lot of people are coming off of like really pressing hot summer seasons, and in order to show up in the fall, you might need 2 or 3 weeks of a break of softball. Don't even pick up a bat. Do things that you didn't get to do because you were in season before, so that you can almost miss it and then show up in the fall like your best self. But if you're literally coming off of a brutal season, just brutal, not win or losses, but if you're coming off of a tough season, you need to have a break. You need to have a mental, physical, like emotional break from the sport for a second to want to go back for more next year. And this is the moment where like you need to reflect on how that season went. Like the reflecting, the journaling, like that, if you do just journaling today about like how your season was and how like your great at bats felt like this and your not so great at bats felt like this, and just reflecting on like what you did this season, what you wish you would have done more of, you are setting yourself up for success later on. So don't feel like just because you're not swinging a bat today, you can't get better. That's where like journaling and being surrounded by a community that's like empowering and supporting you, and like whether it's reading a book, whether it's listening to a podcast, like there are tools where you can get better at something and you don't need to be picking up a bat or picking up your glove. Like there are so many tools out there that you can use. And for example, so I just launched, and I think you follow me on Facebook, so you probably saw yesterday that I created this hashtag Smash Tribe Facebook group, which if you haven't seen it, go to my post yesterday and join. But this Facebook group is going to be a group where you're surrounded by people that want more, that are trying to grow themselves, whether it be in their game, whether it be their mindset. They're trying to grow every single day towards some sort of a goal. And what people get confused by is like, it doesn't have to be a goal like 10 years from now. You should be setting goals for yourself that are like attainable within like the next month, the next week, the next 6 months, because that's the thing. I kid you not, I just hit a goal that I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna hit it, but I cannot wait for the day I'm gonna hit it. And that was this past week, I paid off every single one of my student loans. A lot of people thought I had a full ride scholarship for softball, and I did not. I had lots of student loans, and my main mission when I left college was to pay off those student loans as fast as possible, and I did it. Like, I literally did it this week. You could say I'm celebrating in New York because of it. I don't know, maybe I'll have to have a glass of champagne tonight at dinner. But you have to be able to celebrate the big wins, but there are tiny little goals to like that get you to that big win. Like I had that goal for like 3 years to pay off my student loans. 3 years. And it finally happened. But I can't say that was the only goal I ever had in those 3 years. I had so many tiny goals, tiny things that I wanted to attain before I made that big goal happen. So like, even if you don't know what your goal is in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, make a goal for yourself this week. Show up every single day this week to get some sort of a goal, whether it's, I'm gonna say I worked out for 30 minutes seven times this week, every day this week for 30 minutes. Like, for you, that may feel like a huge goal for you, but find something where like you have to be able to be consistent to go and attain it. Because for me, when I decided when I was 12 I wanted to be in Caitlin Lowe's shoes one day and play at the college level, I knew that every single day that I didn't want to show up, I had to in order to make that goal happen, to make that dream happen. So whatever it is that you decide to make your goal this week, first of all, I want you to put it in the hashtag Smash Tribe. I want you to hold yourself accountable in front of other people that also need to be held accountable. So for me, like, I'm gonna put my next goal right now, like this has inspired me to do this. In the Smash Tribe, I'm putting my next goal into the Smash Tribe. Like, so if you join, you'll be able to see my goal. That's where I want everybody putting in their goals. I want everybody to show up and put their goals in that Smash Tribe, because one, like, if you say it out loud, you're more likely gonna do it. And if you say it in front of people you trust, people that are also goal getters, that like want to attain goals just as badly as you, you're more likely to go and do it. But if you just say it and nobody knows about it, you're probably not gonna attain it. So put it in the Smash Tribe group. If you're not a member yet, like, I'll make sure I accept you like by the end of this live, or at the end of this live. But this is where I built this community so that you guys can have a platform, a place to feel like you're connected with other people who have goals just like you. So with that, that's basically all I had today. Go follow #SmashTribe. Also, I'm going to be probably hopping on more lives on the Smash Tribe, like within this next month especially, because I'm going to be launching that. Sorry, I don't know what that bell means. Oh, we've been going for 30 minutes already? Dang. That's what the bells were. But I'm going to be hopping on there doing lives, especially tailored to specific goals. So if you don't have a goal, if you don't know how to create a goal, I'm setting up a course starting August 30th, where we're gonna make goals for ourselves. We're gonna make little goals, and we're gonna make some big goals too. But I think a lot of people just need help with the roadmap to get to goals. So that's the exact reason why I'm starting this course. If you guys have more questions with that, just DM me and I'll send you a response. But I'm going to be putting out a lot more stuff on social media just so you guys can like understand what the course is going to be about, what I'm planning. I literally spent my entire flight yesterday planning the entire course, and I am so excited for you guys to see what I've come up with. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, so go follow #SmashTribe. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys are inspired to like set a goal for yourself this week and show up, be consistent, and just do it. All right, you guys are awesome. I'm going to be on Instagram in like 30 minutes, and I need to grab food because I'm starving. But you guys are so great, and have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Like, let's just end with this. Let's end with this beautiful shore. Yes, that's Lady Liberty right there. Woo! So cool. There's Jersey City over there. There's the World Trade Center right there. And we're just chilling on this cute little pier. All right, I'm signing off. Thanks for hanging. See ya.